let's talk about Ava Longoria. So she had some comments that bothered me just a little bit because they felt a little bit unfair. So she says that she calls out Hollywood and says that only a white male can direct a $200 million flop and get another shot.
Who's she talking about?
That is objectively not, I mean, if anything, it's a broad stroke statement that isn't really fair. But I can list you a bunch off the, like, I could list you a bunch off the top of my head who didn't get a second shot. The first one that I think of is like Alex Proyas, who did Dark City, which I loved. But then he directed Gods of Egypt or whatever, and like literally vanished. Like gone, is to never be seen again. Tim Miller did Terminator Dark Fate. The last thing he did was like Love and like Sex and Robots or whatever. Love, Death and Robots.
Oh, that's pretty good.
But that's TV. Like that's 3 episodes on Netflix. The dude's not. And then he got pushed out of Deadpool 2. Like it's not that simple, and it's never that simple, and it's annoying when they racialize something like that. The directors who do get the second chance after a big film flops are the ones who have a strong enough, resume of films before that to say like, look, this is the exception,
right,
not the rule.
Who
right?
was the Booksmart director?
I don't remember.
You'd
have to let me know. But Elizabeth Banks failed big time with Charlie's Angels. She got another movie after that.
Oh yeah, Olivia Wilde. Olivia Wilde made Booksmart, which also bombed, and then she got Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah.
So
women
get second chances all the time.
And Kathleen Kennedy has done nothing but bad with Star Wars for the most part. Like little projects notwithstanding, but for the most part, Solo, a Star Wars story, lost money. Star Wars movies shouldn't lose money, yet she still maintains a job, right? Who's the other one? Who's the dude who did Fantastic Four? Josh Trank. That dude, like literally, that dude just disappeared. So it's like it's not so cut and dry.
Maybe men just feel more shame when they fail.
She's obviously upset about someone in particular, because that's kind of a specific number too.
But this is she's talking like I think that's just the stand-in number for like a big budget Marvel movie. People say $200 million, but also like she's directing the movie about the the Cheeto movie. Flamin' Hot, about the guy, the now disproven story about the guy who created Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Well, all you have to do is base it on a true story.
Yes.
It doesn't actually have to be a true story.
Well, I mean, that's
he was
a lot
like
of it now.
Janitor at Frito-Lay.
Who the legend has it, he took home a bag of unseasoned Fritos or Cheetos and like seasoned them with stuff from home and then brought it in, and like a legend is born.
He was like, Mexicans are gonna love this.
Yeah, like so. And she says, she goes, as a woman, as a Latina, and as a first time director, like you don't get a second opportunity. I'm like, the first time director part is more concerning to them than the woman in the Latina part.
She said that
Plus, she didn't say
female,
Latinx. How am I supposed to know what she means?
She said, as a female director, a first-time director, and a Latina, she, quote, felt the weight of my community.
Dude,
the weight of every female director when production started on Flamin' Hot.
She also used generational trauma or something in here, where it's like she
said, you really carry the generational traumas with you into the making of the film. For me, it fueled me. I was determined.
You have been a rich Hollywood elite for like 20 years, you scumbag.
This is like the writer's striker that had the poster board that said, AI doesn't have childhood trauma, as if trauma is what makes you a competent writer or director.
Dude, to be that level of wealth, level of success, that level of fame, and to spout nonsense like this is either A, extremely disingenuous, or B, a true indictment of just how far the victimhood culture in this country goes.
So I was going to have to push back a little bit, because childhood trauma could make you a good writer, but it does not qualify you or promise you any one position, right? A lot of people go through childhood trauma and they don't make it to see their 30s.
Sure, there's totally something to be said for like a tortured artist.
Ava Longoria has been Hollywood mainstay for like as long as I've been alive. Okay, maybe not that long, but at least 15 to 20 years.
It's another example of the oppression Olympics, and celebrities do what celebrities do best, and they capitalize on trends, and right now it's trendy to be a victim, and she's checking every box she can.
She said about Latina directors, we don't get a lot of bites at the apple. My movie wasn't low budget by any means. It wasn't $100 million, but it wasn't $2 million. When was the last Latina-directed studio film? It was like 20 years ago. We can't get a movie every 20 years.
Is she talking about
Robert Rodriguez? Is she talking
well,
about...
no, well, hold on. Is she talking...
She's about women.
So if she's saying women specific... I was going to say...
She's a Latina.
Right. So
another fake cultural milestone.
Guillermo del Toro is one of my favorite
Robert
directors.
Rodriguez. These are people that are working consistently.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yep.
Like she's worth $80 million. I mean, obviously these net worth things are very rarely accurate, if ever, but it says she's worth $80 million. So I will invite you to Crimea River and then go jump off a diving board into it and swim someplace I am not, because this is the type of bullshit that just grinds my gears.
We are approaching Pride Month, and it is about to get so.
You mean
much
American
worse.
Amazing American Month? What did Tim call it?
American Greatness.
American Greatness Month. Yeah, I love American Greatness Month, and then it's MAGA Month.
Pride Month now starts in May. Yep. It's not June. It starts in
these
May.
Corporations
and it goes until the
need
end
to
of
get
June.
their, they need to get their supply lines up and running, to prep for that June 1st day.
So once Pride Month starts, it's going to be all about LGBT filmmakers and LGBT representation.
Did you guys talk about that Satanist that was that well, apparently Target now cut ties with this person, but it was a LGBTQ Satanist artist.
How did they cut ties?
So they took all those products off the website. So they're still doing Pride stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But they took that designer's product specifically.
Okay.
Wayward Soul in the chat says, my brother was an extra in Desperado and I was an extra in Machete Kills. That's freaking awesome, dude.
Cool.
That rules.
That is pretty cool.
Dude, it's just you can't get over just how much these people have to pat themselves on the back. She was speaking at a conference related to the USC Annenberg Inclusion Initiative, and she says basically that Hollywood, the illusion that Hollywood is progressive, it's fake. That they're not progressive, that Hollywood isn't progressive, they're actually going backwards.
That's why they all have big fences in all their big homes out in California.
She says
they want to be men of the people, women of the people.
She says the metric in which you measure success is important, she added. She said the studios or networks will pat themselves on the back saying we doubled the amount of women behind the camera. But Longoria says they've gone from 1 to 2 and you're like, okay, technically you did, but you still only hired 2 women. It will never, first of all, that's a ridiculous example. And secondly, these people are social terrorists. It will never ever be enough.
No.
It does not matter. No, there's one quote that comes from every article like this when they talk about these things. There's more work to do, because it's a shifting goalpost that will never be fulfilled because you put yourself out of a job when you fill it. So it will always be, well, we did good here, but we need to make more growth here. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to grow and make changes with the industry. But when you're dishonest in your approach, which is what this is, it's dishonest. She's laying the blame at the feet of studios that have done everything in their power to vapidly and surface level appeal to these demographics lately. She might be right about one part, and that the studios don't actually care because they're corporations, they can't actually care. But to say that they're not trying or making changes is ridiculous.
Well, you know what's funny? This Women in Motion interview that she did, where she was spewing all of this garbage, is sponsored by Kering, which is the parent company of Balenciaga.
Yeah.
And this woman is talking about inclusion and diversity and all the values that we should hold as a society. I don't care.
I don't want to make sure we don't gloss over the fact that you actually talk to people who are Hispanic or of Latino descent, right? They don't like being just thrown into that group. Right? Like there is pride in Mexican culture, Cuban culture. People are from El Salvador. There's actual countries that exist, but no, you're of Latin descent. Okay, so you must be oppressed.
She said 28% of ticket buyers at the box office are Latinos. We over-index at movie going, so why shouldn't there be content for us if we're the ticket buyers? We are the viewers. For me, I take great pride in throwing around that buying power weight. If you don't speak to us, we may not buy that movie ticket. She is so out of touch that she would think Latinos buying movie tickets give a single crap about whether this movie speaks for them as an ethnic minority.
They want to go see a good movie. They
like anyone, they just want to see a good movie.
They mentioned Fast and the Furious, and they mentioned Crazy Rich Asians. Well, as we know, as the resident Fast and the Furious apologist of this podcast, which, by the way, it didn't do as well in America opening weekend, but it still made a bunch of money internationally. And Crazy Rich Asians made a bunch of money because people wanted to go see it. I didn't think much. Yeah, whatever. Like it's, I always thought that was a weird one, but I am a fan of most of the actors in that film. Like it's just ridiculous, and maybe it's just the anger at the fact that these are people that live lives that are so vastly different from what the average moviegoer will ever experience. That annoys me so much because the playing to the man of the people, like I don't like it when politicians do it. I don't like it when celebrities do it. You are not like us. That's fine. Like we talk about, like I kind of like jokingly was like I'm kind of down with Gwyneth Paltrow just being an out of touch and inaccessible rich celebrity. Fine. I don't care. That's who you are. Don't pretend it's not what your actual life experience is. You will not understand the world I live. I will not understand the world you live in. That's fine. It doesn't mean that the product you're selling isn't something I'm gonna want to buy.
One of the comments here said, "Why not just promote your movie instead of whining about white men? I'm a brown guy and I'm so tired of everyone constantly blaming white people for everything. Just do your job and be successful based on merit instead of painting yourself as the victim from the get-go." That's something that we can all share. Like this is the universal sentiment from audiences.
And let's face it, she's being dishonest about the first part, which is that it's your skin color to the studio matters a hell of a lot less to them when you're a director if they know you can make them the money back. So, like, for instance, Tenet didn't do that well from Nolan, right? But it's Christopher Nolan. His batting average is far, far above the average director.
Well, someone also commented, what about M. Night Shyamalan? He's not white and he's directed a bunch of big budget flops.
Yeah, it's true. He's not... I don't think he's had a win in a while.
He's notoriously hit or miss.
Split and what was it? Yeah.
Even Split was...
But before that, what was the one before that?
The Sixth Sense was the one that was like...
Well, yeah, that's the big one that actually worked.
But I think he's still living off of that, dude. I don't think he's had huge hits. Even though I'll still... I like the
really
creepiness.
Are you talking about Old?
No, the other one that was Unbreakable, Split,
and then Glass.
But Split did well. Glass.
Unbreakable was the one that did well out of the series.
I mean,
with Bruce
did
Willis.
it actually do that well? I mean, I know it's really good. I love the movie, but I don't know if it actually did well in the box office. But Split, people ended up really, really liking Split because of what's his name in it.
It also caused a lot of controversy though about mental health awareness.
Yes.
Do you guys want to see Flamin' Hot? Are you
all of
compelled by this idea?
I don't give a crap
this
about
is also going on Disney Plus, and after Disney Plus has just done like a culling of all of their shitty content that nobody was watching, this is the stuff that they're putting on the platform now.
They're repackaging the streaming services because I think Hulu's becoming like more people are spending time on Hulu. And so they're bringing Hulu content into Disney Plus.
Hulu freaking rules, dude. Like out of all, like it actually, like I had to get rid of Disney Plus so that I had to make my guilt. To lower my guilt for loving Hulu so much.
Dude, there's nothing on Disney other than new Marvel projects.
I don't watch
new Star Wars
and I never used it.
Like, how many times are you gonna rewatch a Disney animation movie? Unless you have little children at home, it really doesn't make sense for most people, and they've totally just burnt out everyone. Like everyone's got what do they call it? Cape fatigue, superhero fatigue,
and also
too much.
Nostalgia is burning out.
I watched Hawkeye, and then we watched what was it? One of the Star Wars ones, and that was it.
I find even when there's one I kind of want to watch, I find myself sitting there and be just waiting for it to be over. Yeah. It's almost like it's a chore having to watch these nowadays.
Yep. All right, to me, this is just annoying, dude. And oh, by the way, I am sick of I don't care about movies about Uber. I don't care about movies about the BlackBerry. I don't care about movies about Cheetos.
What about the GameStop movie?
I don't care about the Stonks movie.
Honestly, I might watch the BlackBerry one.
The Jordan shoe just came out. That movie
Air.
on
Air.
Yeah,
that I've actually heard good things about.
I have too.
People liked The Founder.
I never watched that one.
They liked that one about McDonald's.
We've got when they make a movie about the dude who got screwed out of his money for the Super Soaker, I will watch that. I will watch that one because that guy got his money later, but that guy got screwed.
Why does
initially.
Everything have to be a reboot or
Why does everything have to be
an interpretation
based on something?
Yeah.
Like, can you just come up with a new idea? anything will work. I'm fatigued on.
And it's like, which is so stupid. It's like, all right, so you want to see more representation in these films, right? Well, then write a movie for that to happen. You're trying to fit square pegs into circle holes. It's like, why?
There's a reason why people like don't make those complaints during John Wick or don't make those complaints during Fast and the Furious, because they're franchises that are starting from scratch and they can put whatever actor they want in there and it's fine. And you never see anybody complain that some actor looks a certain way in those movies because they understand that that's an original character. It's such a disingenuous argument when you make it seem like it's actually because people don't like what the person looks like.
Did you see Danny Trejo just posted on Twitter maybe a day or two ago, and it says Juan Wick, and he completely dressed. I don't know if it was AI or not, but completely dressed up like John Wick. But it's just Danny Trejo.
That's awesome.
It was awesome.
Danny Trejo is great. That's another actor who's been great for 2 decades. That stop pretending like America was this awful place before. Actors like that. Antonio Banderas was a big thing in the 90s, dude. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.